Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fluent Start, and welcome back to Season 2. Today, we're going to talk about something that feels subtle but makes a huge difference in your speaking. How to sound more natural in long conversations. Because maybe now you can already speak longer. You can explain your ideas. You can tell stories. You can keep talking without getting stuck. But sometimes, even when you speak longer, it still feels a bit unnatural, a bit stiff, a bit like you're trying too hard. And that's the next level. Not just speaking longer, but sounding natural while doing it. Because long speaking without natural flow can feel tiring, both for you and for the listener. So how do we fix that? I think the first thing is this. Stop trying to sound perfect for too long. Because when you speak for a longer time and try to control every sentence, you become tense, and that tension shows in your voice. Natural speakers don't control everything. They flow. They allow small mistakes. They adjust while speaking. So instead of thinking, I need to say this perfectly, try thinking, I'll just keep it going. That shift alone already makes you sound more natural. Another important thing is using natural fillers. Not too much, but just enough. Words like, actually, basically. These are very common in real conversations, and they help your speech feel smoother. For example, I was actually thinking about that yesterday. It's kind of interesting, These small phrases make your speaking sound less robotic, more human, more real. I also think linking your ideas smoothly is very important. When you speak longer, you need bridges. Without them, your ideas feel disconnected. So use simple connectors like and then, so, but at the same time. Because of that, these help your speech flow naturally from one idea to another. Another thing that makes long conversations feel natural is repetition. Yes, repetition. Not in a bad way, but in a natural way. For example, I was really tired. It was so confusing. Native speakers do this all the time, and it adds rhythm, it adds emphasis, it makes your speaking feel alive. I also want to talk about self-correction. Many learners are afraid of correcting themselves. They think it's a mistake, but actually, it's natural. People say things like, I went there on Monday. No, actually Tuesday. Not exactly like that. This shows real thinking, real communication. So don't be afraid to adjust your sentence while speaking. It makes you sound more natural, not less. Another important thing is breathing and pacing. When you speak longer, sometimes you rush. You try to say everything quickly, and that makes your speech feel heavy. Instead, slow down a little. Add small pauses. Let your words breathe. Because natural speaking has rhythm, not just speed. I also think reacting during your own speaking helps a lot. For example, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And honestly, I didn't expect that at all. These reactions add personality. They make your speaking more engaging, more relatable. Another thing that helps is not over-explaining. Sometimes learners try to explain everything in detail, and it becomes too much, too heavy. Natural speakers often keep things simple, clear, and move forward. So remember, natural speaking is not about saying everything, it's about saying enough, in a smooth way. I also think listening plays a big role here. If you want to sound natural, you need to hew natural English. Pay attention to how people speak in podcasts, videos, interviews. Notice their rhythm, their pauses, their expressions. And slowly, your brain will copy that pattern without you forcing it. And finally, I think this is the most important idea. Relax. Because natural speaking comes from comfort, not pressure. The more relaxed you are, the more natural you sound. The more you enjoy the conversation, the better your flow becomes. So don't try to control everything. Just stay present, stay engaged, and let your English flow. Anyway, if right now your long speaking still feels a bit stiff, that's okay. You're already improving. This is just the next step, from speaking longer to speaking more naturally. And you'll get there, step by step. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope this episode helps you feel more relaxed and natural in your long conversations. Thank you for listening to Fluent Start. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.